Hello, my name is Justin Decloux, and I'm here today with
Will Sloan.
And you're listening to the Important Cinema Club. Nothing but laughs November.
International month.
Woo!
That's right. So to reiterate the premise of this month, we're talking about comedy superstars from around the world who are hugely popular in their home country, often hugely popular in other parts of the world, but never crossed over to North America.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, wait. The comedy alarm is going off because this week's topic.
We picked wrong. Picked wrong. Listen.
We didn't pick a bad subject.
No,
I want to be clear about this.
I'm happy that we're doing this.
Yes.
But for years, I heard that Raj Kapoor was India's Charlie Chaplin.
Not a completely incorrect statement.
Yes.
Yes.
He is India's Charlie Chaplin in a lot of ways, except laughs.
Yes.
Although, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Because,
the movies that we watched.
Well, his movies, like so much of Indian cinema, are big buffets that have a lot of things in them. Mm-hmm. They have laughter, yes, but also tears, also music, also a lot of melodrama.
Yes.
In addition to being the Charlie Chaplin of India, he's been called the Clark Gable of India, which should tell you something about how much this doesn't really fit into International Comedy Month.
The movies that we watched, and I think, did we each watch 3?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, if we count lengths, we watched 8 movies for this podcast.
I would have watched more, but I'm sorry, there's only so much time.
And I think that out of all the topics we're doing this month, this may be the one that we will skim the most gently on top of the water of going into it.
If you searched Raj Kapoor because you were a huge fan, maybe you live in India.
Okay, you're up to now. Man, Raj Kapoor is really great. Now you can turn it off.
Yeah.
This is what we think of him.
We like Raj Kapoor.
We like Raj Kapoor.
But what you need to understand is we barely knew who he was a week ago.
No, I knew of him.
Well, yeah, I knew of him. And actually checking the archives, it turns out I had actually seen one of his films before.
Huh.
I'd seen Satyam Shivam Sundaram in 2021, and I liked it.
And these films, shockingly, they get almost no play in English language circles.
Which is remarkable because he's arguably the most important Indian filmmaker of all time. That's not an overstatement.
And it's not even difficult to get into his films because he is such an auteur that there is a consistency to his films, and he is the artistic guidance throughout them. Are they long? Yes. But all the ones that we watched are playing within the confines of a Hollywood storytelling method that is not necessarily the case with most Indian cinema that we watch.
His films were wildly popular, not only in India, but they were also phenomenally popular in the Soviet Union. They were popular in the Middle East, in China, throughout Africa, many other parts of the world. 2 of his films played in the official competition at the Cannes Film Festival. And I just like this fact. In 1953, Awara played, and that means that Jean Cocteau, Abel Gance, and Edward G. Robinson all saw that film.
I think they'd probably like it.
Probably liked it, yeah. And Awara, also, it was remade in Turkey 8 times.
8 times?
And it was the favorite film, reportedly, of Chairman Mao. So definitely these movies got their tenterhooks in a lot of the world.
But English-speaking territories? No.
What I really couldn't believe is all of the critical writing I could find about his films came from Indian or other Eastern sources. Very, very, very little Western film criticism about them.
That's wild.
Like you go on Rotten Tomatoes, for instance, and the only review that shows up for Awara is from Time Out. And well, we'll get to that soon. But very few people in the West have reckoned with these films, which is too bad.
Yep, I think they're very good. And I mean, the Criterion Channel must have had a few of them, right?
I don't know.
At some point?
I don't know. I saw that Bobby is on Tubi. So
Bobby?
Yeah, that's one of his films. Now, the Kapoor family is the first family of Indian cinema.
See, this is the thing, is that like when we start reading about his history and his family's history, we run into 2 issues. One, we have no association with any of his film titles, and none of them are easily recognizable in English.
That's right.
So it becomes difficult right from the get-go when you're reading about them.
For me, the biggest difficulty is you got the Kapoor family.
Yeah.
Which is dozens of... I mean, there are
to this day
so many famous people in it. Go on Wikipedia right now, look up the Kapoor family page, and look at the family tree, and just have yourself some fun there. On Netflix right now, you can watch a reality show.
It just started like a week ago from this recording.
It's called Dining with the Kapoors, and it is in celebration of Raj Kapoor's 100th birthday. The patriarch of the family was one Prithviraj Kapoor. He was a leading light of Indian theater, a founding member of the Indian People's Theatre Association, and he was the first Kapoor to enter the film industry.
I love how it says, like, he was one of the most powerful figures in the Indian film industry. And then when you're reading Raj Kapoor's biography, it's like, Raj Kapoor started sweeping the floors of the studio, working his way up.
Yeah, Raj Kapoor was his son, and he was born in 1924. We could be talking all day about the extended family, but what you need to know is Raj Kapoor began as a child actor at the age of 10. He had his first taste of real success in 1947 with a movie called Neel Kamal, which was a romantic drama. And then the following year, 1948, he founded a company called RK Films, and he made his directorial debut, a film called AG. AAG. And he was only 23 years old when he made that film. So he was a sort of
Orson
Welles of Indian cinema.
I wonder if perhaps Awara will be reminiscent of perhaps some of Wells's work.
Yeah.
This is the thing about the movies that we watched. They are all great, but in that kind of, when you get into Indian cinema, oftentimes what's the attraction is the idea of like unauthorized ripoffs. I'm sure remember in the 2000s, it's like they made Reservoir Dogs. They made
the Old Boy remake.
The Old Boy
Zinda.
And these are basically like, he watched a lot of Citizen Kane, so he's just going to use a lot of the storytelling techniques.
As well as
a Little Tramp, perhaps.
As well as, Mr. Charlie Chaplin as well. You'll notice that, he started his company in 1948. What happened in 1947? The British Empire divested itself of India. India became independent. And something that can be lost on us Western viewers are the specific ways in which his films speak to that cultural moment. And we'll get into that as we discuss the film. Which ones did you watch? You watched Awara?
Yeah, I watched all the most popular ones that you can find at the top of his Letterboxd page. Awara, Mera Naam Joker, and Shri 420.
So
420, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll get to that. But Awara from 1951. So this film, I'll just synopsize it. It begins in the past. It's about a wealthy and powerful judge named Raghunath who believes that the son of a criminal will always be a criminal.
A caste system, if you will.
Following this principle, he sentenced a man named Jaga to prison on a rape charge with very little evidence. But Jaga escapes. Jaga was innocent of that crime. He kidnaps the judge's wife, Leela, but he quickly lets her go. The plan changes. However, when Judge Raghunath learns that his wife is pregnant, he cruelly casts her out of his life. Now, no adultery has occurred. No rape has occurred. The child is his, but people are talking. And the judge will not face, even the remote possibility that his offspring will be the son of a thief, the son of a criminal, because deeply embedded in his value system is that, a criminal will always give birth to a criminal. Mm-hmm. Now, years later, that boy has grown up to be the Little Tramp.
Oh, the Little Tramp himself. A criminal, though.
Well, the Little Tramp was a criminal.
What?
Yeah, he would.
I thought he was an innocent, and he never hurt anyone. He never kicked a cop in the butt or anything like that.
The boy grows up to be Raj. He and his mother grew up in poverty in the dog-eat-dog streets of Mumbai, or Bombay, as it was then known. He becomes a thief, and in fact, he is mentored in a life of crime by Jaga, the petty criminal who abducted his mother all those years ago. As an adult, he reconnects with an old school friend named Rita, who he lost touch with when she moved away as a child. Rita, by the way, is played by Nargis, the star of Mother India.
That's another classic Indian film.
One you might have heard of. Rita and Raj fall in love, but wouldn't you know it, in the intervening years, she has become the ward of Judge Raghunath.
Oh, no!
I know. So as the film goes on, Raj finds himself torn between two worlds. Rita's high society world, to which he aspires, and Jaga's world of petty crime, which he has had to rely on to survive all these years. And these two worlds are on a collision course. Now, Judge Raghunath does not realize initially
that it is his son.
Yeah.
That he's trying to throw out of his home.
But then as he learns first that, it's a poor thief, and then as it's his son, that leads to further complications as the film goes on. There are many twists and turns. Do we end up back in a courtroom?
Yes.
Is Judge Raghunath confronted with the consequences of his prejudices and actions?
Yes.
And, I know writers who use subtext and they're cowards.
Cowards, yes.
Yes.
I agree. And I want to be clear again. This is all moody lighting, low angles, dramatic push-ins anytime something dramatic happens. Like, this is utilizing every trick in the cinematic book. There's even a fist fight near the end.
Well, one of the things that Raj Kapoor has been called is the greatest showman in the history of Indian cinema. And I mean, you can see that here. I mean,
we want to be clear as well. There are 10 musical numbers in this film, and they rule.
Another important thing about these movies that can be easy to lose sight of is that they did help set the template for Bollywood movies as we know them today.
You know what made me sad watching these movies is that the Bollywood musical number, there's only 3 usually per movie now, and that they've really ossified into like, it's a star near the front and he's dancing, and there's a million people behind him dancing and following along. That's how you shoot a musical number. And here, that language is not kind of set in stone.
Yeah, it's so dynamic, isn't it?
So there's so many... There's like a musical, like Michael Powell kind of like abstract musical number in this that's like in heaven, basically, at one point.
Yeah, there's a little Vincent Minnelli in here. Yeah. Now, the screenwriter of Awara and a number of Kapoor's movies was one Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. And I would love... This is an example of how this topic is too big for us to talk about. But like, I would love to know more about Khwaja Ahmad Abbas because he was an important journalist before he was a screenwriter. He was a political correspondent. Among others, he interviewed Khrushchev, Roosevelt, Mao.
Whoa. Are these movies communist or something?
He also interviewed Charlie Chaplin, speaking of communists.
Get that commie out of here.
He also wrote 74 books, including the first biography of Indira Gandhi.
Could these movies have been kept out of North America? I mean, there are the prejudice and stuff like that already, but due to the politics that they espouse.
I think possibly.
Yeah. They are in your face, but they're also not the backbone of these films. They are the lessons you learn at the end.
I think there are a lot of reasons why these movies never... It's not that they didn't catch on in America. They just weren't shown in America.
Yeah, they weren't shown. That's why I'm saying that. Like, or were they just too like foreign for people?
I think that's a lot of it. Yeah. It's like it's not like you have to encourage Americans to not watch foreign films.
But you feel like you could have is it because they're using too much Hollywood storytelling that there isn't the pristine of something like Bergman, for example?
So I definitely think so. Yeah. So there's the kind of like, let's say, Mort Rifkin view of European
like a
art cinema.
Antonioni, this is what art house cinema is.
Well, yeah, like for a lot of people who were going to see art house movies in the 50s and 60s, they had grown up on Hollywood melodramas.
Yes.
And they saw these new kinds of movies that were being made in Europe that seemed to tackle like really serious ideas in a challenging way. Yeah, Bergman, Antonioni, Fellini, people who created a style that was counter to the Hollywood style. And these Raj Kapoor movies,
they're Hollywood movies,
and they lean into so everything Hollywood about it. Yeah,
and they do come to like radical theses at the end of the movies, but the way that you get there is something that you understand why it would become the biggest movie ever in India.
I mean, I would say that I do find this, I don't find it like a difficult challenge, but it's like...
I mean, they're long.
Well, it's a challenge of Indian cinema that the movies are so...
melodramatic?
Yeah, frankly, because I feel like here, like we've been conditioned oftentimes into believing that for something to be tasteful, for something to be adult, for something to be like mature and sophisticated, like it's not melodramatic, it's
not in your face.
Yeah, it's subtle. It has subtext. Not that this movie doesn't have subtext, but you know what I mean. It's like these are very populist movies, everybody can understand them and they really wear their emotions on their sleeves.
Because that's why, I mean, they would have probably had to have been dubbed if they came to North America, and due to the number of musical numbers, I think that would have been difficult. Or they just cut the musical numbers out, which nobody wants that. So maybe it's better that they didn't travel like that.
But, Kapoor's films also cannot be separated from their times. Awara came out 4 years after India's independence. And, it's the classic thing, tradition and modernity, right? That's where the country is stuck between.
That's like every single movie that we watch for this episode.
Well, I also feel like oftentimes whenever we talk about mid-century art house cinema from different parts of the world, we're often talking about, like, in Japan, for example, it's like every movie is about being trapped between tradition and modernity. And the key idea in this movie, the idea that the thesis of the movie is that a person is shaped by nurture, not nature, that their fate is not predestined, that their upbringing and their environment are what makes them who they are. this was a very modern idea for an Indian film in 1951. And I feel like, yeah, a reason why this may not have resonated in America or been imported to America is because America has the pretense
that this is baked into society.
Well, it's like America's a classless society, supposedly.
Yeah, wink.
It's ridiculous, obviously, but especially at that time, it's like we're a scruffy nation. Anybody can make it here.
World War II is over, so we're in the greatest generation.
We're
no
a melting pot.
Yeah.
It's like anybody, you can make it in America. And
so the idea to like have to actually confront that, they're like, we don't want this.
Well, here the idea is more like, what if you can make it in India? But in America, it's like you can make it in America.
All right, so let's get. I feel like Awara, not enough Little Tramp in it. Give me Little Tramp straight to my veins.
I mean, in the context of International Comedy Month, I'm sure we were hoping for shenanigans. This one has some, though. This
a little bit. Like, in the second movie we watched, Shri 420, like, the Little Tramp character, he looks exactly like him. He has a little mustache, has a little hat, he does a little walk.
Yeah, he waddles. He's got a bindle.
You feel it'll be like, Mr. Chaplin's lawyers are present. You're going to have to change it 30%, please.
Apparently, I looked this up, and people can fact check me if I got wrong information.
Is Raj Kapoor like, I've never seen Charlie Chaplin?
No, far from it. In fact, Raj Kapoor and other Indian filmmakers apparently visited Chaplin in Switzerland as part of an Indian film delegation in the 50s. And I wonder what Chaplin said to them. Were they
probably like I haven't seen your movies, so I can't really speak to them.
Hello, yes, I am Charlie Chaplin. What do you want?
I mean, even the image of Shri 420 is just like a ripoff of City Lights.
So sorry, I'm looking at this image. Go to the Letterboxd page of Shri 420. It's a picture of Raj Kapoor sitting next to a kid, and this is why I thought this would be perfect for International Comedy Month. I was like, oh, it's just the kid.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But no, it's actually more like the Nutty Professor. This movie, you know what I mean?
So this film, the Tramp character is deployed just to get you sympathetic with the main character. The idea of, he's a funny little guy. He's not really doing any funny things, but he is empathetic through the portrayal of this archetype that you know.
So, it opens, or an early scene, the most famous scene in the movie is Raj Kapoor. He's walking from his small town to Mumbai, a several 100-mile journey on foot, which was apparently not uncommon in India at the time. After independence, the streets were paved with gold in Mumbai, and many people were making huge, long journeys by foot to the big city, hoping to strike it rich. And so this is something that would have resonated with people at the time. And he's singing this song called Mera Juta Hai Japani.
Just send me a few verses, Will. I'm kidding.
Well, I can tell you some translated words. My shoes are Japanese. These pants are British.
That's like a Disney version.
I have a Russian hat on my head, but my heart is Indian. Now, this song to this day.
That is not the tune of the song. I want to be clear to people.
No, I was doing the song from Cholet right there.
Okay.
That song, though, with that message, is to this day legendary, and says something about a nation that was caught between colonialism and independence, as well as a nation where it's also caught between the ideals of socialism and capitalism. How much time we got to talk about that? These are huge topics. But anyway, yeah.
But I'm ready. I'm here to laugh, Will. Laugh.
Well, you probably enjoyed some of the scenes in that opening musical number.
Yeah, he's running around.
He's doing bits.
Very slight bits.
There's a cop. He gets chased by a cop. But eventually, when he makes it to Mumbai, he finds himself torn between two women. There's the poor but virtuous Vidya, who again is played by Nargis, and there's the femme fatale Maya. And they
a real
represent,
Betty and Veronica situation.
They represent two different paths that he and India can take.
Oh no! But what if he falls into the arms of the rich woman?
So I do love that much of the movie, he has the choice of being poor but virtuous or rich but dishonest, and he gets caught. There's a very rich capitalist type who hoodwinks him into, doesn't hoodwink him, pulls him into being in this real estate Ponzi scam, where he scams a lot of old people out of their money, old poor people. And for much of the film, he switches from being India's Charlie Chaplin to India's Clark Gable, or it's Buddy Love.
Buddy Love, yeah. The Nutty Professor himself.
And I do kind of love this about Raj Kapoor and his on-screen persona, where it's like these two modes, they don't seem even like the same character.
But that's the thing, even Awara, he starts as kind of like a sleazy, criminal at the start, and he's allowed to then transfer into the more kind of affable character, or even in Nawara, he plays kind of the affable guy and more vicious at the end of the film. And I like that. And it's something that you can only really see in Indian cinema. The films are so long to get to play all these different modes.
Yeah, and it's funny. I don't think these movies have more plot than the average Hollywood melodrama.
A lot of musical numbers.
And yeah, things just play out really long. And I'll tell you, Justin, men descended from the apes, but money has turned them into dogs.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
Coming from literally the richest, most powerful people in the Indian film industry.
I mean, that's true, but also,
if you're speaking truth to power,
what would you rather have? Yeah.
Let me look at the popular Indian cinema and see what their politics are these days. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's right.
It's interesting to consider. These are films that their politics could only come out of liberation from the British.
Yeah.
That's like all that's on their mind at this moment.
Well, I mean, this movie in particular, like, it's a parable about what is India going to choose. So for much of the movie, he embraces materialism, but at the time in India, there was this thing called Nehruvian socialism. Now, I'm saying this as if I know what this is.
Yes, you mean you read it on Wikipedia.
Exactly. But hey, I'm learning. India's first prime minister, Nehru, basically it was espousing something along the lines of democratic socialism, where, it's achieved not through violent revolution, but through a mixed economy and nonviolent democratic persuasion. These movies are espousing those values. They're also espousing, basically an anti-caste, anti-class value system. And that's why they resonated not just in India, but in the Soviet countries, in a lot of like poorer countries, materially poorer countries, I mean. And less so in America.
And that took shape in India following these movies, right?
It's a socialist paradise to this day, I believe. Yeah.
If any of the Tamil movies that I've seen, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the big boy that we watched this week. We're talking about Mera Naam Joker. We're jumping many years now to 1970.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say that the longest, most like epic movie we watched has the most comedy bits in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's more room for them.
Yes. Now,
this has the most everything
in it. This is definitely...
almost an hour of it is music.
Raj Kapoor. Definitely saw some Max Ophuls movies.
Yeah, there's definitely some Lola Montez. There's a lot of Chaplin.
A lot of Chaplin.
Limelight, especially, I think.
Even though the Raj Kapoor's not that old in this one. Yeah. And so the premise is he's getting 3 of his old flames to come see his last show as a clown.
That's right. Now, the most...
Tears of a Clown.
It's so powerful to be a Joker. And by the way, he's referred to as a Joker, not a clown, which I love. I think that's great.
So are you going to repaint that picture of like Heath Ledger, Cesar Romero, Raj Kapoor?
As we've established, my favorite kind of art, my favorite genre of art is paintings where all the actors who played the Joker are like playing poker.
Would Raj Kapoor be playing poker as well?
Well, he should be, because he's the Joker,
the patience of this movie, though, that like Raj Kapoor doesn't show up properly for like 90 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So what does it mean to be a clown? That's the question that this movie asks, or a Joker.
Yeah, a Joker.
It's as we said, it's one of the longest movies in Indian history, commercial Indian film history. It has 2 intermissions.
In Russia, they split it into 3 parts that you have to watch separately.
And the movie does unfold in a 3-part structure.
I love that title card. It's like, end of first part, first intermission. I was like, first intermission?
I know. How long are we going to be here? My God. But it tells the story of Raju, an awkward child who grows up to become India's greatest Joker. Raju, for the first part of the film, the first of the 3 parts, is played by Rishi Kapoor, who's Raj Kapoor's son.
Yeah.
Giving a great performance.
Very charming.
In fact, I think he won an Indian Oscar for this. All 3 of the segments revolve around basically a different love story that this Joker character has, all of which end, if not in tragedy, in heartbreak. The first is he falls in love with his teacher, but of course she's older than him. She's not going to be in love with him. She moves away. The second, he falls in love. He's a clown now.
He's a Joker. Get it right, Will.
He's a very popular Joker at the circus.
Raj Kapoor is like, listen, I'm going to play to my biggest audience, the Russians.
Yeah, a Russian delegation comes. He falls in love with like one of the Russian trapeze artists. They don't speak the same language, but they have a bond that transcends language.
Lots of bits in this part. I had a big smile on my face doing clown stuff.
Well, part 2 begins with it begins with Raj.
Yeah.
He's here.
You're like, Raj is here.
He's finally here. And he
Raj,
he does a song where you see a montage of clips from his old movies.
Yes. Mostly from the other two films that we discussed.
That's right.
And I was like, you're making these look like comedies. Don't lie to me.
I was very happy. The classic bits.
Yep. Of him like waking up on the beach and being like, oh, oh, oh.
But the other important thing you need to know is that he was raised by a widow. His mother was a widow. His father died when he was young. He never knew his father. We don't know initially how his father passed away, but it turns out he passed away in a severe Joker accident. He died because he jokered too hard. He jokered too close to the sun.
Isn't it like his mother's like, I don't want you to be a Joker. What are you doing being a Joker?
You can be anything in this
No
world,
Joker.
not a Joker. But he's just like, Mom, I gotta be a Joker.
Yeah.
It's like the jazz
You have
singer.
a dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, Mom.
That's what he says. I mean, I don't want to spoil the end of Act 2 because
Don't spoil it.
there are some melodramatic twists that you really gotta.
Now, the one thing missing from the movies we watched for this week, I can't speak to the other ones, no twins.
I know.
Which is a big like Indian cinema masala thing. I wish it was 2 Raj Kapoors. I'm sure, I can guarantee you, he's done like 50 plus movies. There's got to be some twin movies in there. Not in any of
write
these.
in if you're a fan. Let us know.
Yeah, what's the twin one?
But folks, you should also know that this movie co-stars Dharmendra as the head of the circus. Now, Dharmendra is the co-star of Sholay.
Rest in peace. We just passed away.
We lost him this week, which I'm very sorry to say. He's in this movie, as the head of the circus, who's a sort of, I don't know if he's a friend per se.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't like the Joker getting too much attention.
Well, and what he also makes clear to the Joker, and this is so important, it's that the Joker the Joker must laugh when everyone else frowns.
We live in a society.
The Joker may be crying on the inside, but he must
better be smiling.
He must laugh on the outside because it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter if you've lost the love of your life. It doesn't matter if your family has died.
Your job is to make other people laugh.
Yeah, and this was a very personal message for Raj Kapoor himself. He felt this very deeply. Now, as I'm saying this, you know that there are parts in this movie that I kind of chuckled at, just because it's so melodramatic. It's so heavy, but I do like this movie a lot because I think a lot of the emotions in it are, quite real, quite powerful, and not easily resolved. I mean, it's a movie about heartbreak.
Yeah, there's no, it's interesting that almost none of the films that we watched have very concrete resolutions.
Yeah.
Even Awara kind of is
That's right.
Up in the air by the time the running time ends.
And, this is a movie about 3 separate love stories that basically end unhappily for the Joker, but and that's allowed to hang in the air. You know what I mean?
I think
only
it's powerful.
He found his Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I think it's powerful because of that. Like at the end, and I love how it ends with like the big final show, and it says "not the end."
That's right, because it goes on in our hearts. But this movie, it was kind of to him what Playtime was to Jacques Tati. This massive, years in the making undertaking that bankrupted him.
Oh, it did bankrupt him.
Well, it may not have bankrupted him.
I mean, he made a bunch of movies after this. After this, he directed Bobby and Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Yeah, that's true. But it definitely it put him to the brink of ruin.
Yeah. And all he had to do was have more children so the Spawn could rule Bollywood forever.
Well, again, just go on Netflix right now and watch Cooking with the Kapoors.
Do you think there's like a CGI hologram Raj that's hanging out, waving?
Well, I think it's his burden. Like, as the Joker, he needs to be there. He still needs to be there for us. Like, death should not conquer the Joker.
Now, if you want to explore, I know that what we've talked about can sound very overwhelming. I think that Awara is the one that I would point to, just because the melodrama is so stylized that, like, I think it goes down easier than Chaplin-esque style melodrama.
I definitely think Mira Nam Joker is like
advanced studies,
but also you can understand it.
What are the other Raj Kapoor films that we should be checking out?
I would recommend. I mean, I didn't watch it. I watched it a few years ago, but Satyam Shivam Sundaram has some really spectacular stuff. Like, the musical scenes are eye-popping in that film. These dream sequences that are just incredible.
Hasn't Criterion been threatening like an Indian Cinema Discoveries box set for like 2 decades now?
I mean, I want it now.
Yeah, you can get a taste of it in the kind of world cinema box sets that Martin Scorsese presents. So if you want to explore that, check that out. And check out Awara, I would say, because it's out there. It's been remastered as much as it probably will be in this environment, and it goes down easy, and you will discover a huge cinematic figure everywhere in the world except for English-speaking countries, where Indian cinema, especially even classical stuff like this, has been completely ignored up to this day.
Nothing But Laughs, November.
Continues. But first, a word from our sponsors.
And what's important is the Joker must always laugh.
He must. Me and
if
Will.
you take one lesson away from Nothing But Laughs, November, it's that.
The Joker must always laugh. Well, we have things to advertise, Will.
Yeah, so on the weekend, on Saturday, November 29th, we will be at the Hot Doc Cinema here in Toronto. We will be presenting Leo Carax's new film, It's Not Me, and we will also be doing a live thing after.
That's right.
We will be talking about the film. We will be talking about autobiographical self-portrait films in general. And
lots of laughs.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So I'm having trouble switching gears. But you know what I mean? It's like it's Leo Carax's new film. You know him, you love him.
Come and see us,
on
please.
The big screen.
Please.
Yeah, come on out.
What's that? Is Santa somewhere?
It's Santa Decloux.
Because on December 8th, which is a Monday, we are doing another Important Cinema Club holiday spectacular.
And this one will be to commemorate our 10th anniversary.
Well, it begins our 10th anniversary celebrations.
Right, which will be going
all year.
Probably all the way to our 20th.
Yeah, that's right. And so I thought we would do like we did last time. We're going to show a bunch of shorts. We'll show a feature, which will not be revealed. Let's just say Action Christmas, anyone?
Something like that.
We will record a live episode at the back of Eyesore Cinema. And also, there will be, for the first time anywhere, and this is really exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
This would only ever happen if we passed away. You can buy me and Will stuff. It is a flea market of all the stuff that we just want to share with the world.
You can buy our stuff.
Yeah, you can buy our stuff. Cheap. Right? Cheap.
Maybe,
and there'll be good stuff
maybe
there.
Free, honestly. I don't know.
There'll be good stuff there. I mean, I don't want to make any promises. Last year, did everyone who came to the evening get a free Blu-ray or DVD? Yes.
I feel like last year it was almost to a fault. Like you could feel them kind of like, no, I don't want this. And you kept shoving them in their hands.
They loved it.
They loved it.
Someone said that, he's like, I can't believe I discovered that film from picking up from that bag.
November 29th, come see us at Hot Docs with Leo Carax.
And then on December 8th, come and see us, live podcast, live movie screening.
At Eyesore Cinema.
Flea market. Yeah. Oh, so much stuff.
So yeah, you have to come to both these.
If you come to one, you have to come to both.
Yeah.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, but especially come see us at Hot Docs.
Yes. At Hot Docs. I mean, the Eyesore screen, how many seats are there at Hot Docs? Like 300.
Yeah, that's the harder one to sell out.
Yes.
And I don't think we're going to get anywhere close. So that one really come out to
the biggest stage you will ever see us on, probably.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I'm very excited for that one too, because I'm very excited to present Leo Carax, who's like one of the best filmmakers.
Maybe Leo will be there.
I mean, who knows? Probably not.
Maybe Chuck Jones will be there too. What celebrity could be?
Maybe Charlie Chaplin himself will come back from the dead and join us. Anything can happen.
Yep.
So these are two things you gotta come out to.
We recently learned Sammo Hung came to Toronto unannounced.
I know, and nobody invited us.
Well, I don't think they knew he was coming. He got the sense because I checked there was no Sammo Hung is coming. It was part of I think a Hong Kong Film Festival thing that I had not even heard of. The day after, I saw an ad on the subway.
Yeah.
But up until then, I had not heard anything about it.
Yeah. Colin Geddes got to meet him.
That's where I saw it. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not sure what I would say to Sammo Hung.
Sammo, I'm a big fan.
That's what I'd say.
But here's the thing. If you become friends with Sammo, you're a friend for life. Because as our friend Joey, he helped on the set of Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in China
and America. And then, just kind of in an unofficial capacity, years later, here's Sammo call his name out in L.A., leaving a theater. Sam was like, hey, how you doing? You want to be my assistant on martial law?
Whoa.
I've told the story before.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Joey O'Brien, who also co-wrote Full-Time Killer, the Johnny To film, and Motor Ray. So what a life that man has lived.
You know who's not your friend forever? Jackie.
No, Jackie. Speaking of Jackie, we don't talk about it on the episode, but he did come up in something that we watched today for Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So on our Patreon, why don't we just plug this now?
Yep.
On our Patreon, we are finally talking about the most important cinematic topic of our times, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, we're talking about the Mr. Bill.
Oh,
All right, let me take it again, Will. Oh no, it's me, Mr. Bill. Oh, oh, oh.
Mr. Bill, the little Play-Doh man from the early seasons of Saturday Night Live. We talked about the direct-to-video Mr. Bill Christmas movie, and we also talked about various Mr. Bill ephemera.
Yes.
It's the Mr. Bill Spectacular.
You will be shocked to learn one of us was a big fan of Mr. Bill. Can you try to guess who?
It's one of us.
Yep.
So all our and yeah, Jackie Chan.
We watched one of the shorts
we
where
watched a short called
Mr. Bill learns karate.
Yeah, and there's some racist gags, including
where he's like, "Hey, it's Jackie Chan," and it's just a guy. You know, it's not. We don't talk about it. We foiled it now. That's that was extra work we did just for textual stuff.
Justin, do we have any letters?
We do have letters. As per usual, you can send us letters on porncineclubpodcast@gmail.com. I'm also putting a call out. Let us know in the Discord. If we did a month in December, every Patreon was about a Christmas special. Would you like that? Which ones would you want us to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I have my list, so I'm just laughing, thinking of, give a little taste. Maybe one comedian does all of A Christmas Carol, perhaps a master of impressions.
He's thinking about Rich Little, folks.
Rich Little.
He wants to do the Rich Little Christmas special.
Which I think is like 80 minutes long.
Justin is drunk with power. He realizes that nobody can tell him what to do on this podcast.
But when I say Rich Little Christmas special, what do you say?
I say yes.
Yes, please. Yeah.
No, please, more.
Recently, someone asked me, I was very nicely invited by Stephen Broomer to talk at a university class of film as a business. And someone asked me, do you do any research for the Golden Ninja video releases that you put out? Like if the market will be open to it? And I went, no. I just put out the stuff that I like.
Oh, man. Film as a business.
Yep. So our first letter is from Michael, and he asks, hey, Justin and Will, was George Lucas's movie museum opening next year in LA? What? They didn't invite us? George Lucas? Who I'm sure is a listener to this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
I started exploring some of his work beyond Star Wars and Indiana Jones, productions he helped shepherd into existence like a studio mogul from Hollywood's old days. There are films that he seems to have gotten involved in because a friend was directing, like Tucker, The Man in His Dream, Lawrence Kasdan's Body Heat, and Ron Howard's Willow. But there are others, weirder ones, where maybe Lucas is trying to say something or support some cause. Schrader's Mishima, Kurosawa's Kagemusha, and Haskell Wexler's Latino. That last one is seemingly forgotten pro-Sandinista movie. 174 letterbox logs from 1984.
Wow, that's crazy.
For good measure, we have a few mega flops or head scratchers in the mix, like Howard the Duck, Strange Magic, Radioland Murders, Red Tails, and Twice Upon a Time.
Red Tails is a cause movie, don't you think?
I mean, I saw it theatrically. It's not very good. Okay. Oh, you think that he was passionate about it?
Yeah,
He's very passionate about it. Yeah. Do you think Lucas is successful as a creative force? No. Is he an auteur? That's a good question. Should we be excited by his massive monument to narrative art? He's been wanting to make this museum for like 30 years, it feels like. I feel like it's probably pretty exciting when it finally comes out.
Yeah, you know what place actually kind of sucks, actually, is the Academy Museum.
Ah, really? I've never been.
Yeah, I don't know. You want it to be better than it is.
Like, what do you want from a museum like that? Like, for example, Henri Langlois' Cinematheque Museum was so abstract that you weren't even sure what you were looking at sometimes.
This isn't exactly what I want either, but I went to this place last time I was in LA. I went to a place called the Hollywood Museum because they had a Marx Brothers exhibit. Mm-hmm. And the Hollywood Museum is the most, like,
cheapo
thrown together. Yeah. It has some stuff in it that's kind of amazing. Like this Marx Brothers exhibit. They had all this real Marx Brothers memorabilia. They did a Three Stooges exhibit last year.
I was going to say, I only need one Hollywood-based museum, and it's the Three Stooges. What is it called?
The Stoogeum, which we saw in... I
think there's a Patreon episode about it. Yeah. We talk about it.
Yeah, we saw that in Pennsylvania. And that's...
that's everything you would want.
Tear down the Louvre. Who cares?
Anyway, so Marx Brothers.
Well, the Hollywood Museum is great because it has some of the stuff that's really amazing. And then it also has like just junk. They have a Paris Hilton exhibit from 20 years ago that
and it's still up?
It's still there. And also, you go to the top floor and there's a big exhibit for like what looks like Christopher Reeve's Superman costume. And you're like, whoa, they have the Superman costume? And then you're like, wait a minute. No, they don't. This is fake. Or you'll see like the Adam West Batman costume, and it's like, wait, this is clearly fake too. So it's the most like kind of illegitimate, fake, fraudulent museum that also has some real incredible stuff in it. The Kane from Citizen Kane, et cetera, et cetera.
Does anybody know one of the greatest showbiz museums that we should visit? We still have not visited the Mary Dressler Museum.
which I think is now the Canadian Women in Film Museum.
I like it.
But,
That's fun.
we should go. Let's do that soon.
I think it's one of those ones that's like open one day a week every third month or something like that.
It's close to Belleville, I think. So we'll do a road trip someday and broadcast live from there.
Our next letter is from James, and he goes, "Hey, Justin and Will," and he mentions that he's seeing that Will is watching Raj Kapoor films on Letterboxd.
Oh, what could that mean?
Yep. And he just mentions that he watches the movie and he's been excited to visit places in India where some of the scenes take place. So his question is, have you ever wanted to visit a filming location of a film?
You go first. Have you visited any?
No, not really that I can think of off the top of my head. And I can't even think of like where I would be excited other than the general idea of Hong Kong. That would be fun.
It'd be nice to go to the Police Story Mall.
Yep, it would be.
Did I mention this on the podcast? I did a sort of Ed Wood tour of LA recently.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it recently.
I saw the house that Lugosi comes out of in Plan 9, which was Tor Johnson's house. I drove way out in the San Fernando Valley for that. I did a reading at the place that used to be Quality Studios, which is, it's behind Gold Diggers. It's this tiny studio where Plan 9 from Outer Space and Glen or Glenda were shot. Evan Laffer from the Joker Men podcast was kind enough to invite me to his reading series that he hosted there. And God, I was moved. It was so emotional to be there. It's also the studio where Phil Tucker shot Broadway Jungle.
Whoa!
And there's a
film that we have tried to release on Gold Ninja Video.
I don't know if we've tried seriously.
We reached out to people who have released it on VHS.
Okay.
And asked politely. And because that was a while back. That was pre-Robot Monster getting a Blu-ray release.
We love that movie, Broadway Jungle, even though it's horrible.
It's awful.
But yeah, you may remember there's a scene near the end of the movie where there's like, it's at a movie studio and there's a catwalk where somebody like fires from. I saw that catwalk and I was.
Did you want to go up and?
I was vibrating. I was like, I can't believe it. It's the catwalk from Broadway Jungle, a movie that has like 12 logs on Letterboxd.
And the only copy is like literally looking through a peephole if you were trying to watch it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I haven't done a lot of like filming location stuff. I remember when I was in like a long time ago, 10 or 15 years ago, I looked at some of the places from Taxi Driver. Like I went to the theater where De Niro took Sybil Shepherd on the date, and it's now like a family Broadway, theater house. So yeah, those are a couple things I've done.
I think I've answered this question before, but like I want the place to still be standing. Just the idea of like, oh, that's where it is doesn't really excite me that much. But if I can walk through it, that I find exciting.
Oh, I also saw the Chaplin Studio in LA, which is still up. It's still as Chaplin left it, basically.
Wow.
In fact, it's been the Muppet Studio for a while, but they're trying to sell it.
Hey, Will, maybe we should be, this is a faraway tease, making a list of places in LA that we should visit, of locations.
Something to think about.
Year, perhaps.
Something to think about.
That's a tease for something that no one can experience. But what's in the future for the Important Cinema Club? We're moving to LA. No, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
No, absolutely not. But listen, if we had property in LA, New York, France, Hong Kong, Japan.
I don't think it's too much to ask. There are people who have way more money than us who have all those things who have contributed much less to the world than we have.
So our next letter, this is very specific. I don't think you'll be able to speak to it, but I want to put it on our radar. It's from Christy, and they say, hello from a longtime listener, first-time writer, and big fan. I discovered your podcast last year when I read Matt Farley's profile in New York Times and did a Google search for other commentary on that fascinating artist. Whoa, one of the rare times a Matt Farley brings people to the Important Cinema Club.
That's interesting, yeah, because we were not mentioned in the New York Times profile, which, is fine.
Matt, what's going on? You got to mention us every time you speak to any reporter.
I mean, here's the thing. Yes, we're the ones who made Matt and Charlie's movies popular. But
we are not. I think the movies did a lot of that work.
But like, we'll be forgotten, and that's okay. That's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, no one remembers who discovered Kurosawa when they brought like...
It was Donald Ritchie, but that's okay,
Wait, was he the one who brought it to Venice for the first time?
Maybe he was the... I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Nobody remembers.
Nobody remembers.
And that's fine.
We can look it up. All the archives have been blasted from memory. It's a void century. So the letter continues. I've been a devoted ICC listener ever since, and especially as someone who years ago devoured every Once Upon a Time in China movie and every other Kung Fu movie that my college cinema screened. I totally love the discussion you provide on Asian cinema in its many forms. Thank you very much. I wanted to reach out because I recently watched the 1964 Soviet-era Russian production of Hamlet, which was directed by Grigory, I'm not going to say his name right, Kozintsev. It's a gorgeous movie, and it looks like he's a director. You haven't discussed yet on the podcast. I love this. That people are like, it doesn't seem like this Russian director. You've talked about him on the podcast. That gives like so much breadth of what like they expect us to talk about. Please consider doing an episode on him. Thanks for all the wonderful work and sending all my best, Christy.
This is one of the most obscure requests that we've gotten for a filmmaker to discuss, which means I love it.
So here's the thing. Have I seen this movie? No. Have I had my eyes on the diary about the making of King Lear the director has written for 10 years? Yes. Ever since I stumbled upon it at the York University Library, I was like, I should read that one day. I remembered it when I saw the name.
That's what I love about you, Justin. You go through the York University Library.
Just like looking at books.
Looking for the most obscure, the least taken out books.
Yeah.
And you get fixated on them. Grigory Kozintsev, sorry, folks. I would love to do this filmmaker.
Yeah, he hasn't made that many movies either.
Although I see on Letterboxd, like the people I follow who have seen his movies rate them very highly. So I'm always learning.
Yep. So there's always new people to discover. You know what? It just warms my heart that someone's like, I came to you for Matt Farley. I love the Asian cinema talk that you do. Can you do this Russian director? They have enough faith that we can tackle that topic.
So good.
So you know what? We'll do that probably sooner rather than later, because there's nothing me and Will love more than you search our name. We're the top because nobody else has done a podcast on it. So thank you very much again for all those letters. Patreon.com/The Important Cinema Club. Just in case you're not subscribed, which I'm sure you are, right, dear listener?
Are. It's Moneyvember.
Yeah, still Moneyvember. And I got to say, those numbers are up. By the end of December, we can reach our goal.
Well, and that's great, especially with fire content like the Mr. Bill Spectacular. Last week we talked about the Bob Hope special, Joys.
No one can stop us.
No one can stop us. We can do whatever we want.
Will was like, hey, can I talk about The Running Man or something? And I was like, or Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. All right.
So next week, speaking of more obscure topics, Will had never heard about them before.
That's right. Comedy Month continues.
Nothing but last November worldwide, we are discussing Japan's Crazy Cats. They have, I think, 14 movies I saw on Letterboxd. And some people that I know that like really love Japanese movies hold these films so highly. I know a guy who has subtitled multiple of them himself because he's such a big fan. They're very anarchic, kind of like Hell's a Poppin' style comedy movies. Perfect after coming after Raj Kapoor. If people want to watch some of these movies, Crazy Big Explosion from 1969, 83 minutes. Easy, goes down smooth. Now, the other ones that people really recommend, for example, Mexican Free For All, a smooth, easy 162 minutes. So no problem.
Okay.
It's a mad world, if you will. And then as well, there's a ton that you can watch. I think a fun one, Monsieur Zivako, 110 minutes. You know, you can work your way. Maybe you're going to have so much fun with these Crazy Cats that you're going to want to experience everything that's available.
I can't wait. Again, I have no idea even what you're
going to get
about.
into.
So,
and here's the thing. So they were a jazz band that were so popular, they became movie stars.
Sounds great.
And like a lot of the subjects we've been doing lately, these movies are so hard to find. Maybe jump on the Discord is all I'll say.
That's right. Is everybody enjoying their marathon of the guy we did last week?
One person watched him.
The South Korean Jerry Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can find those movies. I think they're still on there. They are wild. As somebody who started watching them said, I don't know if I can take more of this. It's maybe too pure for me. But the Crazy Cats, can we make the Crazy Cats into the next Matt Farley cause célèbre? Well, you'll have to listen next week to find out. Until then, my name's Justin Decloux.
I'm Will Sloan.
Thanks for listening. As per usual, I would like to thank some of our new patrons, who include Tyler Northcutt, Parker S., LBK, Brian, Eric Wicklund, Adam Rockwood, Shivansh Raman, Greg Servos, Alex Monster, Kyle Gustafsson, Hank, Hint of Pecorino, Covey M., Gabriel Goldman, and Wee. Thank you all for becoming patrons. We could not keep doing this without you.
Well, this past week, we held our screening series at the Fox Theatre again. Every couple of months at the Fox Theatre, we've done Important Cinema Club Masterpiece Classics here in Toronto. Justin and I get to curate a movie. We get to introduce it. And there's no theme except stuff we like.
This week, we showed Steven Seagal's oeuvre masterpiece On Deadly Ground,
which is his only directorial effort.
Feature directorial effort. If you look on Letterboxd, there's like another like short film thing on there.
Doesn't
That's
count.
like Lawman related, it looks like.
Yeah, On Deadly Ground was the one that Steven Seagal made after Under Siege, which was his biggest hit. You know, he had carte blanche, and he made this movie.
Here's the thing. This movie rocks. It's so much fun.
It's better than I remembered it,
Yeah.
I gotta say. And I mean, I knew it was funny.
Yeah.
I knew it had that speech at the end. It ends like The Great Dictator with him giving an impassioned several-minute monologue about a cause that's important to him. But the thing about the movie is it's kind of good.
The thing about the movie is that it's slick. It's got that 90s sheen to it. And most importantly, Michael Caine does a lot of heavy lifting in the movie.
Yeah, Michael Caine as the villain who has Steven Seagal's haircut in
Yes.
this film.
He is not phoning it in. He is just chewing every scene. And so, like, you get a good mix, right? Where it's like, if Steven Seagal's on screen, you get to hang out with Michael Caine and you're happy as well.
Yeah, and it's a movie that's kind of on the knife edge between, like, I'm laughing at this movie.
And you're having fun with
But then
it.
also, yeah, I'm having fun with it.
Because it has, like, Verhoeven style, like, gore gags when, like, guys are being blown away.
Well, as you observed, the second half of the film, like, it just keeps ramping up. It keeps escalating. Like, the action scenes are, like, pretty awesome.
Yep. And you start right from the get-go from something that would make a movie, even if there was nothing else, which is him beating up a bunch of people in a bar, with the scene with Mike Starr where they play that slapping game.
So if you haven't seen On Deadly Ground, it's set in Alaska, and it was filmed in Alaska. Beautifully filmed.
I mean, it cost $50 million.
The production values are insane.
Oh, it has a score by the guy who did RoboCop and Starship Troopers, and the score rules.
Right, and there are so many beautiful shots of the Alaskan wilderness, and dead in the middle of them is Steven Seagal looking stupid.
He looks so stupid in this movie.
But he plays like a mercenary, basically. He plays a guy who...
As the great Verne said in his book Seagology, the big opening of the film is an oil refinery is exploding. It's out of control. What's going to happen? Oh, Seagal gets introduced. He comes out of a helicopter. The camera pans up to him. He dramatically walks over to the thing and he presses a button, and that's it. So they just got this guy to come to press a button.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole thesis of the film.
But, you know, he's lost his way. He's helping the sinister oil company. The oil company that has, bought the land from the indigenous people.
And they made a very crazy contract that if you do not open the oil refinery by this date, it will revert to the indigenous people.
That's right. So,
I mean, and when we're talking about indigenous people, we're of course talking about Mr. Seagal as well.
well, because Steven Seagal... He ends up
Bit mongrel.
He ends up going on a spiritual journey.
Yes. Now, this is maybe a stumbling block in the film that if you're not locked in, there is some very hazy dream stuff that happens.
So, yeah, his spiritual journey, the white liberal racism in this film is off the charts. It's
Yep.
insane. Because as you know about Steven Seagal, he's a one-man United Nations. Every couple of years, he has a new race or ethnicity that he thinks he is. And currently, he's Russian. We all know that.
Yep.
Before that, he was black. And in this movie, he's Inuit. And before that, he was...
They don't call that in the movie, though, especially
They don't use
Michael
that
Caine word.
I'm using the politically correct terminology. And before that, he was Asian. Supposedly the only white guy to have a kung fu.
I wasn't a white guy.
That's right.
Is there a less imposing screen presence that was a superstar than Steven Seagal?
Well, he's large.
He is, but he's so flat in everything that he delivers.
So what made me laugh so much about On Deadly Ground this time is the whole first half of the movie is him going on this spiritual journey and, being a warrior poet.
And you could be worried seeing this where you're like, oh, is there not going to be any action scenes? Or just wait.
Yeah,
'Cause the last half is just action.
Because he goes on this spiritual journey where he's like,
I gotta give peace a chance.
I gotta be in touch with the way of the Buddha, or that kind of shit. And then there's a scene where he's like stocking up on guns right after
in his gun room.
And Joan Chen, who plays an Inuit woman. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, plays an Inuit woman. But anyway, she says, haven't you learned anything from my father? What about the spirit world? And Steven Seagal goes on an impassioned monologue about how all this spiritual hocus pocus isn't going to save us now. And right now, we got to have fucking guns. We got to blow up this oil refinery. We got to... The spirit world ain't shit in the real world. And I think that's so funny, coming after
so good.
all that spirit world stuff.
And I love that the movie is like hedging its bets, being like, all right, we're getting near the end. We're not done yet. Here's Arlie Ermy playing a crazy mercenary. How about Billy Bob Thornton doing some Shane Black dialogue?
I mean, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Killing so many people in the most brutal way.
Yeah, it's like Seagal's got, a floppy disk full of evidence that Michael Caine, as the evil oil baron, is corrupt.
Yes.
And that's great. And because he has this
that
floppy
gives him
disk,
the license to kill.
Yeah, he can just go on a kill. He can blow up the oil refinery.
Yep.
He can just kill everyone.
No consequences.
No, and in fact, he's welcomed at Alaskan City Hall afterwards.
To give a speech about, what is he talking? He's like, the barnacles are dying or something like that.
He gives a speech about how alternative energy sources are being
Held back. We could have
because of the oil
electric
company.
cars that run on alcohol or even water.
But you never hear about this now because, and hey,
You know what this movie's missing? Like when he's in the bar, that someone's like, oh, my guitar seems to be broken. It's not working. And he gets up and he's like, oh, let me give it a try.
well, sir, you got to watch Fire Down Below because that's the movie where he gets to do some of his white man blues.
And you got to watch Ticker, the Albert Pune film.
Oh, what a
where
film.
Seagal is in the audience listening to himself wearing a fake beard on stage. Anyway, On Deadly Ground holds up. 5-star movie.
Beautiful film.
Good Christmas movie.
And
Get the whole family
And
together.
it's like, I don't want to hand it to him, but Steven Seagal, you made an entertaining film.
And, as he would say, like, I want to be a good man, but I need more time. And Seagal's like, me too, buddy. Me too.